Hey guys, welcome back to the Friday Vlog, where we discuss activity that goes on here with the BuzWeaver channel. That includes things like current events, headlines that are in the news, pop culture, social media, technology, and items of interest that come up during the week that allow us to have a little bit of a dialogue. I want to welcome all of you guys from New Tech and, of course, all of you here on YouTube for your guys' continued support.
We start things off from the Daily Mail. FBI offered British spy Christopher Steele $1 million cash to prove his dirty dossier allegations that Trump was colluding with Russia to win the election. But he couldn't. Top Bureau analyst tells federal court. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the last several years, we have talked about how the Democrats, working alongside the mainstream media, tech giants, special interests, and activists, how they all worked together. So clearly, when we hear the Democrats say threat to democracy, we know clearly now that what they mean is if you don't vote Democrat, you're a threat to democracy. And here's the democracy that they want: complete and total control. Even going so far back in the day to fabricate a story for 2 years. How often do we hear about misinformation, disinformation? Not to mention the amount of times that many of us across social media, and maybe you have experienced some sort of suspension or other on your account because you just happenstance mentioned something or specifically mentioned something or shared something that should have been just freely available for anyone to know about, right? The FBI offered British spy Christopher Steele $1 million in cash to prove the salacious allegations in his infamous dirty dossier on Donald Trump, a senior bureau analyst told a federal court on Tuesday, as of this week, as of this recording. FBI supervisory analyst Brian Otten testified that the bureau made the offer in 2016 during a meeting in the United Kingdom, but didn't hand over the money because Steele couldn't back up the evidence. So, ladies and gentlemen, even when they were trying to get dirt on President Trump, when the FBI was involved in a spy ring, as it were, or involved with giving money to a spy, right? I mean, these are the things they make movies about. These are the things that we hear about when you see TV shows, all of the interference and involvement and politicizing. Here we have it. The FBI attempted to make a purchase of something they couldn't even back up. That Steele couldn't even back up. So not only was it a fabricated story, it was a fabricated story of a fabricated story. It's absolutely amazing the lengths that the Democrats went to ensure that everyone hated Trump as much as they did, as we're seeing now, as in the top stories this week, as of yesterday, on them seeking to get a subpoena on President Trump. Where is the stopping point? Where is the red line that they have crossed over and over and over again? Is there any point at any time where people are going to realize with such overwhelming evidence what the Democrats were involved in? It's absolutely despicable at best, because as everyone knows, here on the BuzWeaver channel, you guys come here because, of course, I take the difficult, the complicated, the confusion, the tumult, and try to break it down into very simple language. And I'd like to believe that right now, as I am speaking to you guys, I'm breaking this down in very simple language. The FBI, perhaps, as we know, was working alongside the Democrats, the mainstream media, the tech giants, the activists, the special interests, all working together. As we have said many times on here, ad nauseum, you guys are probably rolling your eyes right now. Oh, yeah, here's Buzz going to say it. Buzz is going to say it. The Molly Ball article, where a cabal of people working together to fortify an election for a desired outcome. Okay? So, voter interference, threat to democracy, these are the very common things that Democrats talk about. Why? Because it's what they do. The National Review, FBI officials told agents not to investigate Hunter Biden laptop ahead of 2020 election, whistleblower says. Now, of course, they got to throw in whistleblower, but we already know we couldn't talk about it because any attempt that I made to talk about it, I would be suspended or get a strike. And we saw many people get strikes and suspended on YouTube and even across all of social media because they were talking about the Hunter Biden laptop, and it was not allowed, particularly since there was a campaign going on. His father was running for president. And despite all of the regular, provable evidence that we had, we were not allowed to talk about it. Think about that. The FBI is allowed to offer a foreign national, as it were, a person in a different country, a spy specifically, $1 million on the dossier. Now, they could probably come up with 500,000 reasons why they needed it to make sure it was, we needed to make sure it was, not correct, is what they could say or argue. But specifically, these two stories encapsulate what we have been talking about here on the BuzWeaver channel. Where you stay informed, we are on the cutting edge of societal evolution, a simple, humble content creator who has to deal with many of the woke, cancel culture, outrage mobs flagging because of their desire to be in control, along with Democrats. Now, see, they work kind of side by side in certain things. They kind of benefit each other. They kind of, it's a quid pro quo for each other. As long as one or the other is helping one or the other, they're totally fine with it, whether they burn down cities and damage property, whatever they have to do, as long as they win, ladies and gentlemen. Because remember, if you don't vote Democrat, you're a threat to democracy. And that's what I have for you guys this Friday.
All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this Friday vlog. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the comments. Below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to, where you can see my daily post, as well as the Amazon link if you guys are Prime members or order frequently from Amazon. You guys can use that link, go to the landing page, and search for what you're looking for. And of course, it helps out the channel here in 2022. Thank you for the likes, the shares, for those on New Tech, as well as here on YouTube, and appearing right there on the screen for all of you watching on YouTube. That would be the channel icon. You can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys right there behind that camera next week.